Now, I got to give credit to somebody I've never given credit to enough to. Okay, you ready for this? Everybody thinks I love Pete Carroll, but I was critical of him in my book. USC became unraveled at the end, and he lost a lot of football games in the first 2 years until he got Russell Wilson. But I got to tell you something. I'm a big believer in this. When you take a new job, it's not just about you. What happens to the place you leave? USC football can't get it right since he left, and that's USC, a big brand. Here's another thing that I've noticed with really great coaches in the NFL. Proximity to greatness doesn't equal greatness. That's why 75% of second-generation businesses fail. Dad hands the business to his son. His son grew up around dad. He worked in the store. They have the same DNA, the same mom, the same house, the same school, and the son doesn't have it. Proximity to greatness, even within a family, doesn't equal greatness because there are certain things people have that are not transferable. Pete Carroll's energy is not transferable. His 3 top assistants at USC, Sark, Kiffin, Norm Chow, all fired. In the NFL, Gus Bradley is 12-37. Dan Quinn, losing record. Lane Kiffin, 5-15 in the NFL. Everybody thinks you can just take a Pete Carroll assistant. His assistants, when given NFL coaching jobs, are 25-61. His college assistants, who ran great offenses at USC, all fired. And right now, they don't look very good again. Despite that big brand, USC can't get it together since Pete Carroll left because his energy is not transferable. It's not. Watch Gus Bradley. Watch Dan Quinn. They don't have his energy. You can't transfer everything. This is what Bill Belichick does. Look at all of Belichick's assistants. The only one he's ever had that's become a superstar is Nick Saban in Cleveland. He was a young guy. And it took Nick a while to get there because you can't transfer Bill's attention to detail and IQ. Is that I've always said with Pete Carroll, he's a little too loose. It unraveled at USC, didn't win till Russell Wilson. Yesterday's a prime example. Seattle's offensive line, all 5 guys were playing a new position. That's not easy. That doesn't happen in the NFL, like ever, all time ever. But once again, Pete, and this was the case with Seattle even before Russell Wilson, and it's the same at USC. Pete has created a culture that is so energized and so self-fulfilling that his teams, even when they're outmanned, believe they're better than who they're playing. And you can't teach it. Pete's teams do not get blown out much. Carolina last year is and they came roaring back in that football game. Pete's teams at USC, Pete's teams in the NFL, he creates this sort of believe in yourself, pro player. Nobody believes in us. And I'm telling you, it really deserves a lot of credit because Russell Wilson got hurt. That offense was a mess. They were out of sync. Their offensive line was out of sorts. And they figured out a way late in games to make a play. And I just keep seeing it over and over. And his teams don't quit. They have terrible first halves. After a while with Belichick and Pete Carroll, if you keep winning all these close games, it's not luck. How many? And it's funny that they met in the Super Bowl and it came down to one play again. But, yesterday is a prime example of what Pete does. His teams, even in bad Sundays, figure out a way to win games. They believe in themselves, and his skill has not transferred to his college or his pro assistants. Kristine with the news.
No. Turn on the news.